What's good, world? It's your boy Big Shill. We back in the building. My channel is usually about investing assets from cryptocurrency, stocks, Pokemon cards to real estate and trends. But today, I'm going to give back to the world, give back to the education community because I am a teacher by trade. And that is how I make my money to invest in the assets that I talk about in my channel. So I wanted to give back to people who are aspiring to be teachers because I know a lot of people who are stuck, and I wanted to create a easy formula, easy process, a system that if you take the system and apply, you will get straight to the money in education if that's what you're looking to do. It worked for me. I did this self-taught. Nobody helped me. I did this all by myself, and I'm looking to help other people. So I'm going to make this very simple. I wrote everything down for you guys. I broke it all down for you. So I'm gonna be giving you guys tips and tricks. It's 6 steps I did to make sure I passed the Praxis. I passed 3 different Praxises. I passed the core, reading, writing, and math. I passed K through 6 elementary, all subjects, and I passed high school and middle school social studies and economics. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? Excuse my language, but I know what I'm talking about, and I've done it. And I see a lot of people who are stuck, and they don't listen, and they're stuck in their ways, and they keep repeating this cycle of not getting shit done. So I'm gonna get right into it, all right? And we're gonna keep this real simple. And I'm wearing a do-rag because I wanted you guys to see I'm regular. I'm a regular guy, okay? I'm a regular guy who did this. You can do it too, all right? So first off, what is your why? Why are you doing this? What is the purpose of you doing it? My purpose is I have a son and I wanted to change my living circumstances and I wanted to give him a better life and I wanted to be involved in his educational process. And I knew me being a teacher would allow me to do that. Me being a teacher would allow me to be more involved and have more of a say in how he grows and develops as a student because he spends a lot of his time in school. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? What is your why? And that goes for anything you do. If you don't have a why, you're going to burn out. Okay? And your why is something you can keep to yourself. You don't have to tell anybody. When I was going through this process, I didn't tell anybody but my grandmother what I was doing at all. I kept it to myself, locked in, and I got shit done. All right. Now, and I usually don't cuss in my videos, but I'm using this to emphasize certain points because a lot of y'all are lazy. A lot of y'all don't want it bad. A lot of y'all just want to talk about it. And honestly, the test is not hard. It's hard if you make it hard. It's easy if you lock in. Yes, it's challenging, but it's not impossible. And what makes it challenging is why it's challenging is good because it creates job security. I know I'm good in my job. I'm secure in my job because y'all are lazy and don't want to pass the test. And if you did, you would be passing it and you would be locking in. So hopefully you take what I'm saying and it actually filters through. And this is tough love. I'm not going to be sugarcoating this video. This is a tough love video. I'm trying to make some solid points, okay? I'm trying to hit you right here. All right, next. People get stuck as paras, subs, and longtime students. And you know what I'm talking about. You might be one of them, okay? I was a sub. I was a para. But I just didn't know the process of becoming a teacher. And once I found out what to do, I did it. And there's nothing wrong if you want to stay a sub or a para or you're comfortable doing that. But I see people going to school to get their masters when they only need their bachelors, and you're spending all this money on education when you're not really making money, and there's nothing wrong with bettering yourself. But why do you keep digging yourself in a bigger financial hole than you need to? I'm getting my master's right now for free. My school is paying for it because I passed my test. So pass your test. Yeah. People get stuck as paras, subs, and long-time students. And then you're in a classroom sometimes with a teacher who doesn't respect you. You don't like the teacher, and she's not treating you with the respect you deserve. And you usually think it's because I'm not a teacher. Well, you're not a teacher because you didn't lock in and take your test. They did. You didn't. So take your test. Don't be stuck. All right. Now, another thing I hear is number 3, people talk about the money they spend on a test, right? Like, listen, the money you spend on a test is worth it. You spend money on a bunch of other things, spend that money. Like, we're not even going to harp on this point for a long period of time. That money you spend on a test is 100% worth it and will come back to you. Invest in yourself. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. And I'm speaking from a person who did it firsthand. I failed the test, I think, 2 or 3 different times. I took 3 different tests. So I would pass portions of the test, and then the other portions I didn't pass, I would retake and sign up for. So make sure you lock in and you spend that money on that test. The second I failed the test, I paid money. I paid the money to sign up for my next test date. I did not wait. I literally kept taking the test repeatedly over and over and over and over until I passed. I didn't wait a year. I didn't wait months. I signed up immediately right after. I was determined to change my life. You have to decide what matters. Does this matter? How much does it matter? Does it matter only enough to talk to people? Or does it matter enough to really get this shit done? Okay, next step. Schedule the test ASAP. Okay? If you say you're going to do it, schedule it 30 days out. That's as far as you should schedule it out. I think that's the sweet spot. Schedule your test 30 days out. That's all the time you need to study. And I'm going to get in the studying process next, which is one of the most important parts. But all these things matter, and that's why I wrote them down and I'm mentioning them. Study the test 30 days out. You only need 30 days to sign up. I think that's like they give you 30 day, like a 30-day period. I took the test years ago, so I don't remember exactly. But schedule the test ASAP. Don't wait. Don't say, oh yeah, it's right now it's January. It's January. I'm gonna schedule my test for April. You don't need that much time to study. Like, if it truly matters to you, if it's truly important to you, lock in. Because when you put the date so far past you, I'm just speaking on the psychology of a human, right? That I know from my life experience. You're not going to take it as serious. When you say, oh shit, I only got 30 days, I got to lock in. That's not really a procrastination period. I feel like that's a long enough time to study and focus and lock in on a test. All right, next. The practice test, when you schedule it, is going to give you, now we're going to get into actual studying, okay? These are my last points right here. I'm not going to make this video too long. The Praxis test, when you study it, right, they're going to give you practice tests, okay? Free practice tests. When you sign up for the Praxis, they will give you practice tests, okay? These tests, I think you can take it up to 7 times. So if you take it twice a week, leading up to your 30 days out from your test period, then you will be fine. What you do is, I'm gonna get into how you make a study guide for yourself. Okay. So what you do is you're gonna take the practice test. When you take the practice test, it's gonna give you an estimated score, and it's gonna break down what you got wrong in each category. This is the most valuable data because this shows you what you do know and what you don't know. So everything you don't know is what you study. Everything you do know is what you just leave alone. But you're going to keep taking this test to sharpen and reinforce what you do know, okay? But what you don't know, you're going to make a playlist, okay? This is how I did it. I didn't buy any books. I didn't pay for any classes. I didn't do any of the extra bullshit. I got straight to it. You're going to make a YouTube playlist of everything you got wrong. And then when you're driving to work, when you're taking a walk, when you're grocery shopping, you're going to take your Bluetooth headphones and you're going to play this playlist of these videos to reinforce everything you got wrong. So then the next time you take your practice test, you should get less wrong, and you should repeat this cycle leading up to your test continuously until you get passing score. Okay? Now, there's a couple more things I want to talk about, all right? I'm going to show you guys some resources that I did use, some free resources that did help me. But you don't need to buy a practice book. You don't need to buy a practice test. You don't need to do any of those things, okay? One resource I used is when I was studying, I would play instrumental hip-hop jazz music, lo-fi hip-hop. That's what I like. I like to study to music with no words. So when I would take my practice test, I would make sure I was in a relaxed state and I would make it as enjoyable as possible. No, it's not fun, but getting money and bettering yourself and having freedom and job security, that's fun. All right. Another thing is there's a website I use, there's a YouTuber, a content creator that tremendously helped me. So I'm going to refer you guys to her. She has courses, she has books. If you feel the need to buy them, go ahead. I didn't. I don't think you need them. But if you decide that you want to do that, the floor is yours. Okay. Let me just remind you, I passed my K through 6 all subjects. My Praxis core. A lot of people don't even have to take the core. I had a low GPA, so I had to and also uh, social studies and history, middle school economics. So I personally can teach from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. So I'm a person who, like I said, knows what I'm talking about, has done the work, and I hope this video helps you. If this video does help you, if you feel like this video is beneficial to you, I would appreciate it if you just left a comment. It would help my channel. I'm not going to really talk about education and teaching on this channel. This is a channel for getting money, but this is part of getting money, and I wanted to give back and help you guys, and I'm trying to add as much value as I can. That's my goal this year, to change my life and to help other people change their life. So I'm going to show you guys what resource tremendously helped me. Okay, so right here we have Kathleen Jasper. She is on point, okay? Whatever test you're taking, whatever praxis you're taking, just type in Kathleen Jasper and go to her video, and she's going to give you a lot of great resources. She helped me write the Praxis core essay. That was something that was very difficult for me, and she helped me do that. Another thing is, when you're taking your essay, if you do take the core, let the person know, let the proctor know this test is important to you, and please do not interrupt you unless it's an emergency. They don't like you reading the test, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to like read your things to make sure your stuff is on point. So if you have a conversation with your test proctor, they should usually be a little bit more lenient. Another thing is, if you hear any background noise on your proctor, you need to check them. Let them know, yo, listen, all that background noise, you need to cut it, or I'm going to report you, because just how you want to shut me down, I can equally shut you down. Okay? You need to let them know this test is important to you. I had to check my proctor. Once I checked him, he left me the hell alone. All right? So I just want to let you know, you have to lay that down. But with that being said, it's your boy Shield, Big Shield. We back in the building. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a nice day. I hope y'all pass y'all test and you better yourself. If you don't want to be better, you won't be better. If you truly desire to be better, you're going to get better. So with that being said, man, let's get some money.